Observation cycles are the rhythm of an evaluation process. They are the mechanism through which certified personnel receives an assessment of performance for continuous improvement. Each aspect of an observation cycle is meant to provide opportunity for reflection, feedback, and professional collaboration. An observation cycle is an opportunity for district administrators to witness the successes and challenges of the students in each classroom. For example, observations can showcase disruptive students, but at the same time showcase a teacher's skill at leveraging strategies for redirecting those disruptive behaviors. An observation cycle can be formal or informal, and depending has three general components: a pre-observation conference, the actual observation itself, and lastly, a post-observation conference. The observation itself refers to an evaluator coming into a classroom to view teaching and learning in practice, to acquire evidence of the teacher's planning, instructional delivery, classroom management skills, and students' response to instruction. In a formal observation, the evaluator is required to announce the meeting, include one pre-observation conference, include one post-observation conference, and include documentation of the observation provided to the staff member during the post-observation conference within 10 days of the observation. Formal observations are a minimum of 45 minutes at a time or during a complete lesson or class period not less than 30 minutes. During a formal observation, an evaluator is observing the teacher's planning, instructional delivery, classroom management skills, and student learning. In an informal observation, the evaluator is not required to announce the meeting or host a pre-observation conference. An informal observation typically lasts 10 minutes. Written documentation of the observation must always be provided to the teacher during the post-observation conference within 10 days of the informal observation. No observations may be included in the performance evaluation rating that do not have a post-conference meeting. The conferences, or conferencing, associated with an observation refer to the teacher's opportunity to prepare for the observation with his or her evaluator, or similarly to discuss the observation afterwards. The point of conferencing is to have reflective conversations between the evaluator and the staff member. In the case of a formal observation, a pre-observation conference refers to a preparatory, face-to-face meeting that must be held between the staff member and the evaluator at an agreed-upon time. This meeting is recommended to be at least 20 minutes in length and should include, but it is not limited to, the following: planning and preparation, environment, classroom instruction, and professional responsibilities. A focus for the observation should be determined so that feedback on teacher practice occurs. It is recommended that there be an alignment established between student learning outcomes and growth goals and the teaching and learning practices in the classroom. Prior to the conclusion of the pre-conference, there should be a shared understanding of the focus and purpose of the observation. The focus should be realistic and observable.
Perfect. So what are the demographics in your classroom?
I have a third grade classroom. There's 24 students. 6 of them are English learner students. So I have to specialize my instruction for them. And one in particular is an autistic child that I have to make accommodations for as well.
Okay. What type of accommodations might I see when I'm in there?
Certain ones for him to stay calm is that he might put on a vest, or I might have to help him put a vest on for him to stay calm. Another one is you may see him get out of his seat and go to a different seat that he has assigned to him to work, and he also does his work first, and then I go and check with him, and then he has trouble verbalizing, so he explains it to me after he's done it.
Okay, perfect. So I want to talk about the content. So what content area will you be teaching your lesson in today?
We're going to be working on a mathematics lesson.
Okay.
It's distributive property, where we are learning about the properties of multiplication and division and how they help you understand multiplication, the concept of multiplication and the concept of division better. So they're going to be working on the distributive property today during this lesson.
Okay. I see you have some data here on your multiplication. Are most of your students pretty firm with their multiplication facts?
About half of them have learned the majority of the facts. There's still half that are working on them. They have the whole year to learn them. So I'm going to adjust the lesson and use what they know to have them work on the distributive property today.
The post-observation conference is a required face-to-face meeting set between the staff member and the evaluator at an agreed-upon time within 10 school days from the date of the observation to discuss the observation and any comments or suggestions for improvement. Any deficits noted must be in writing and contain suggestions for improvement. On subsequent observation forms and performance evaluation reports, the evaluator shall comment on previously noted areas for improvement in the current school year. This meeting is recommended to be at least 20 minutes in length and should include, but is not limited to, the following: the evidence collected, progress towards student learning goals, the predetermined focus of the observation, and individual staff feedback on quality instruction, all the while identifying goals to promote professional growth. The post-observation conference is a reflective process for both staff member and evaluator, and may also become the pre-conference for the next observation.
I noticed that you moved around the classroom a lot while the students were working. Why did you choose that strategy?
I just feel it keeps them on task, it keeps them honest. As you walk around, it keeps them knowing that you're involved, and it keeps them involved. And if I just sit in front of the classroom, it just breeds contentment, and then they just kind of get distracted. But as you walk around, it keeps them on pace, it keeps them on guard, like, oh, wait, okay, and keeps them focused.
So you're trying to make sure they're actively engaged?
Yes, and it allows me to see what they're doing as well. It allows me to see, are you on task, or are you off task?
All right, so you'd say it's a good way to keep assessing the students as they're working?
Yes, 100%, yes.
Good. I noticed you have a great rapport with the students. How do you establish that from the beginning, and how do you maintain that rapport?
I think it's a simple concept of respect. I show them respect, and I just expect it back. And I tell them the first day of class, I said, I will give you all the respect you deserve, and I expect the same back. I will never purposely embarrass you in front of others, in your friends, and I would expect the same thing. You're not going to embarrass me in front of your friends, in front of the class. And then also showing a vested interest in the kids, asking them each day, how did your team do yesterday, or you're trying to get to know something about them and asking them about that. And once you do that, it shows that you care, and they appreciate that, and they 90% of the time reflect that back.
Oh, that's great. It definitely shows. So as a teacher, what do you think your strengths are?
Interpersonal relationships, my interpersonal skills. I can get along with a vast majority of the students, whether they're high achievers, low achievers, special ed, different personalities. I think I get along with most, or all of them, I should say.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. What do you think are some areas you would want to improve upon?
I always want to improve on getting innovative lessons where the kids are engaged more. Try to get away from the pencil and paper and taking notes. And that takes time. There's always new technology coming out and new bells and whistles, but trying to figure out which bells and whistles work better and which ones are just fluff, and trying to get more palpable, meaningful lessons.
And,
Page 20 of the RPS 205 evaluation plan provides an outline for the pre and post conferencing general timeline. Each of the required observations must be scheduled at least 5 school days apart. Formal observations must be preceded by a pre-observation conference. All observations will be followed by a post-observation conference. No observation shall take place after May 15th, except in the case of a needs improvement or remediation plan already in progress. Additional optional forms are available on the Perform platform to promote reflection on professional practice prior to the initial conference. The observation cycle must be implemented with fidelity. Should an evaluator cancel an observation due to an emergency, etc., the evaluator must hold another agreed-upon pre-conference to reschedule the canceled observation.